All right, guys, we are live. We're a little bit late. Market Mondays, Market Mondays. We're a little bit late. I had an appointment, so I couldn't get on at 4:30. So that's why I'm a little bit late, but we made it nonetheless. But crypto is going crazy. Like if you guys haven't seen the crypto prices lately, the crypto prices are going crazy. But we'll get into the traditional markets and then we'll dive into the crypto market. But before we get into that, I think it's very important to witness what we're seeing in the crypto market, to take a look at prices, to take a look at, how high these assets are going up because, you always have those people, typically from older folks, but you hear it from other people as well that always say, oh, what if you would have invested in Google or Amazon or Apple when it was like $5, $6, right? And everybody, I'm pretty sure most people have heard that before. You had somebody tell you like, oh, you should have invested in this when it was $10. Oh, you should have invested in that when it was $2, and you would have had a million today. Well, in the last 3 years, we've seen incredible price action from the crypto market to where you really didn't have to invest in something back in 1960 or 1970 to have seen really good returns. So, and we've seen that with multiple stocks in the last, 5, 10 years, right? The last couple of years, the last 3 years, with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with Tesla, with Nvidia, right? And then we had all that the crazy stuff. Obviously, you have the speculative assets like your Dogecoin, your GameStop, and stuff like that. But we've had real assets that have gone up in price that you didn't really need to be a genius to put some money in and make those type of returns that people always say, oh, you should have invested in this. There's actually no excuse anymore, right? Like I think, and we'll look at the charts here, like just in a minute. But I think it wasn't a genius idea to invest in Bitcoin in 2017, right? If you read up on the project, if you read up what it was trying to do, if you read up that it was scarce, if you read up that the supply gets cut every 4 years, if you did some basic research and you allocated some money into this asset, you would have made a lot of money, right? And we don't have to go back 20 years, 30, 40 years to give this example. I think that's important because most people, the average middle class person, it's always saying, oh, we're missing out on this, we're missing out. Now, you're having opportunities in front of you that are playing out. And if you didn't get in, it's pretty much your fault, right? Because it's unfolding in front of your eyes. You don't need to go back 30 years to get this example. So I just wanted to point that out because a lot of you are looking for opportunities. A lot of you want to double and triple your money. And we're seeing examples of how you can do that in things like a Bitcoin, in things like an Ethereum. And then also there's a bunch of plays like within there's thousands of coins, right? If you look at coin market cap, there's thousands of coins, but there's a good handful, maybe 30 to 40 coins that are actually solid plays that you could have made money on too. So I think honestly, the average person could probably make double or triple their money in this bull market, this crypto bull market, without really doing too much work, right? So if you're missing out on that, I think that's your problem. But I definitely think there's opportunity here. But let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will get started here. Now I wonder. I think I got to bring this over because I think I actually the overlay. Let's see. Oh man. I think. Hold on. Give me just a sec. I want to pull this up. No, I don't want to copy FaceTime. No, not a new group. Is it this? Okay. I think this is it, but I want to keep. Oh, this is it. No, 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 no. Primary screen. Um, FaceTime. All right, hold on. Give me just a second. I don't know why this is doing this. I forgot how to make this up, but I'm just trying to share my screen really quick. But yeah. So, oh, right here. Here it goes. Overlays. Share screen. Boom. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. So let's share the 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 market. And why is this not letting me share this? This is annoying. Sorry, guys. Give me just a sec. Hmm. It's weird that it's doing that. Maybe. All right, whatever. I don't care about that. No. All right. We'll just keep it right there. I'll just make this screen a little bit bigger. I don't know why it's not giving me the option to do that. Maybe I picked the wrong overlay. I got to play with this. It usually lets me switch. All right, whatever. We'll just do it like this. Anyway, all right. So the S&P is down, the Dow's down, Nasdaq down, Russell down, crude oil's up, gold is down. So it looks like the overall markets are down. Stock market, equities up, but the risk on assets like crypto are up, right? And I think right now it's just because Bitcoin, the crypto market, is separating itself. So let's go to the crypto market. Make this slightly a little bit bigger. All right, so Bitcoin has surpassed its all-time highs, right? So if you look at the all-time highs for Bitcoin, it's right around 67.5, and we blew past that. It's 67.9 right now. And I think the highest we got today was 68,000. So this is, like I said, in my other live streams, the fact that we blew past all-time highs before the halving is very it's a very different trend than what we see, because we typically see we pass all-time highs 3 to 4 months after the halving. But the fact that we pass all-time highs before the halving just shows the demand is there. So just imagine when that supply gets cut in half, and we also have that buying pressure as well. So not only do we have that huge amount of buying pressure from institutions, and Bank of America, Wells Fargo just said they're opening up to their spot ETFs to their clients. So that's a big deal as well. All these banks are going to follow, right? They're going to purchase a Bitcoin. So I honestly think we're going to clear 100K very easy, and we might clear it pretty soon, right? Maybe before the halving, maybe a little bit after the halving. But I think we're going to clear 100K pretty soon. We'll definitely get to it before the end of the year. That's just my prediction. And it's going to be an insane bull run, right? I mean, just look at this chart. Like, look at the line. Like, literally 42,000, 42,000 to 68. Literally a 50% jump in a $48,000 asset. So just imagine the money that has the billions of dollars that has to go in to Bitcoin for it to jump like this. It's a lot of demand. I think people are understanding that Bitcoin is scarce, and they just want a piece of that, right? It's not like the money supply for the U.S., where people just keep printing money. You could just print money. They're understanding this thing is scarce. It's digital. It's not like gold. You don't have to lug it around, right? So you can hold on to it in a USB. You don't have to carry. Again, it's very practical, right? So you don't. It's honestly, Like you probably haven't. This is probably close to like when the internet came out, right? Crypto. Now, not maybe the internet obviously was a lot more impactful, but I think Bitcoin, the blockchain, is going to be very impactful as well. I think there are other cryptos that do a better job than the Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, people just hold it. So, but again, you have Ethereum, right? You have Ethereum, you have platforms like Avalanche. I'm not really a big fan of Solana, but you have all these platforms coming in. So I think this is, again, and look, we just passed 78, 70, 70, 67, 9. We're at 68,000, right? So this is just, it's going to continue. So who knows where we're going to end up at the end of this bull run? Might be in the 200s. Who knows? But again, I want to point out that if you want, I'm not saying to get into Bitcoin now or get into this coin or get into that coin, but you're seeing it firsthand. Like I said, typically you see people talking about, oh, you could have invested in this 20, 30 years ago. Now you actually have the opportunity to get into something that is probably not going to take more than a year or two to see some gains. Now, I'm not saying just go jump in. Obviously, right now we're on a super spike. Who knows when this spike is going to end? Maybe we get a correction to 40 or 50,000. I'm pretty sure people are going to start taking profit. But I think a good second play, again, it's not financial advice, but if we go to the list of cryptos, right? So we already saw what happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has hit all-time highs before the halvening, and so just imagine when the halvening comes. But Ethereum, I think Ethereum's a way interesting more play because it's deflationary, right? They burn tokens, they burn Ethereum, like the fees get burnt, right? So, and then the fact that March 13th we're coming out with the Denkun upgrade, which is basically to allow for more transactions per block. It's just going to allow for better speed. So, this blockchain Ethereum is, enhancing its technology so that way it can cater to the masses. So I think Ethereum is a great play. Even at 3,600, I think it's a great play because, again, you got to go back to the Bitcoin chart, right? I want to stay on Ethereum, but I want to make a point, right? Because people look at 3,600. Again, you don't have to buy a whole Ethereum, right? Just for disclosure, you can buy a piece of Ethereum. You don't have to buy a whole Ethereum to get a whole thing. That's another thing people have misconception about. You can buy $500 worth of Ethereum, right? Or whatever it is. Okay, but so let's go back. All right, I just want to make a point. So let's go back here, and I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. And hopefully you guys can see. But let's just go back a year ago, right? And we'll go into present time with Ethereum. Let's go to December 25th, Christmas, 2022, and a lot of you probably got some Christmas money, right? And Bitcoin was sitting at 16,842, right? $16,842. On that specific day, I'm pretty sure a lot of you looked at Bitcoin and you said, you probably looked at it, right, and saw that it was coming down from 64,000 and said, okay, 16,000, it's just going to keep on crashing, right? A lot of you probably said it's just going to keep on crashing. Maybe it'll go to 10, or it's going to go to 0, right? That's probably what a lot of people were saying. It's going to go to 0. But if you look at where we're at now, 68,000, and you look at where it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, 16,000, that's literally 4 times your money, right? And I honestly think at that point on December 25th, 2022, it was kind of obvious that Bitcoin was going to come back. Now, obviously, you had to wait 2 years, which is not a long time, but I look at all the history that you had to look at, right? You have from 2022 to 2010, right? So Bitcoin came into the scene 2010, and it was 12 years later. It still hasn't gone to zero. So at the time it was 16,000. I mean, anybody could have looked at that and try to figure out what was going on, right? Like, why are people buying this, right? And you had an all-time high to look at 66,000 and say, do I think it's going to reach that? And I think it was very obvious to say at that point, it's going to reach that, but it's going to take some time, right? But even $1,000, right, at 16,000, you would have been, $4,000 or $5,000 right now, right? And if you would have put 10,000, right, you would have had 40,000 at this point. And these are not big plays. It's not something where you have to say, this company has to crush it. This company has to come out with it's not a company, but I'm just giving you an example. Oh, this company has to come out with a credible technology to do a Forex. I think this was very plain in sight to say, okay, this is going to get back to 64, and I think it's going to go a lot higher than 64 or 60 or 67 was its all-time high. Which I think is going to go to 100, right? And then from that 16 to 100, I mean, you're looking like 6-7 extra money in 2 years, right? So we're seeing plays like this in real time. We don't need to go back 20, 30 years to say, okay, if we would have invested in Google when it was $3, no, like you're seeing it right now. So if you're missing this opportunity, I think it's your problem, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. I think, there's a lot of opportunity in the crypto space. So I think I really think it's disingenuous for finance people on YouTube that are maybe a little bit older. I'm not going to mention any names that say, oh, I'm not touching crypto. I'm not doing this with crypto. I don't think that's the best thing to do, right? Especially when we just had spot ETFs just approved. So it's not like this is a scam, right? Yes, the price is just going up, but why are people buying it? People are buying it because they're tired of the government printing money, right? Like printing money over and over again and diluting the money that people have in their banks, diluting the assets people have because it's usually backed by the dollar. So people are tired of that. So we finally have something where you can invest, where it's scarce, and you can own it yourself. You can take custody of it. So it does have, I think that has tremendous value, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing, especially like boomers and people that just don't get it. They're like, what is this? It has no value, it just keeps going up in price. I think if they just took a step back and saw, what it actually does or what the purpose of it, I think they would reconsider. So I think when you hear that from people older that say, oh, you shouldn't touch crypto, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, it's going to blow up. A lot of people, like Jamie Dimon at Chase, said it, right? And look, they're invested in it. So, look at what people do and don't look at what people say. And I think you'll be okay. Now, that's not the only way to invest. You shouldn't just go off of what people say. You should definitely do your own research. But I definitely think there's a lot more opportunity in the crypto space. So make sure you go out and investigate the space and you do your own research and you don't miss out on this opportunity. I think this and then AI are definitely two plays that you should be researching. You should be getting into the space and trying to figure out how you can make some money, at least a double or triple. I think people should at least try to get a double or triple on their money on this play. We're at the start of the bull run. Like I said, not investment advice, but I think we can at least clear mid 100s for this bull market. At least 100. We'll at least do 100. So if we 67 to 100. I think we're going to have a correction all the way down to 50. But I think you could probably safely double. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. But I think you could safely double. But again, if we go back to Ethereum, I think, Ethereum hasn't done its run yet. Obviously, people are looking at the chart, and again, short-sighted, not thinking about the future. They're like, oh, it already ran up. Okay, right? We just started the bull market, and it's at 3,600. The all-time high for Ethereum is 5,000. right? So typically, the two major cryptos double in price for the bull market. So, I think we can at least see 8,000 for Ethereum this. But do you want to wait into the tippy top to get out? No, I think, depending on when you get in, you want to play it safe. You don't want to, be holding to the top. Although I do think for Ethereum and Bitcoin, it's, I wouldn't say it's like 100% safe, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, the ETF for Ethereum is probably going to get approved in May. There's already an application out. I think it's BlackRock or it's some other big player in the space. But I mean, just looking at these prices, if Bitcoin passed its all-time highs before the halving, Ethereum is probably not that far behind. And again, the Dencun upgrade is May 13th. So, a big catalyst coming up for Ethereum. And you're going to see that play out in the whole space, right? There's Ethereum, but then there's a whole ecosystem under Ethereum, all the coins that, run off Ethereum software, right? So there's a bunch of plays there. Again, I think if you get in to anything, just try to stay in the top 100. Like if we look at the top 100 right here, top 100 coins. Again, why did this do that? This thing is doing different things this time around here. Yeah, so if you stay in the top 100, I think you'll be okay. You have to do your research and see what are the best plays. Now, for me, I try to break it down in categories, right? So you have payment cryptocurrencies, you have smart contract cryptocurrencies, you have DEXs, decentralized. DEX stands for decentralized exchanges. You have meme coins, you have oracles, right? So you have different categories of cryptos. What I would do if you're new to crypto, I would try to find the categories that crypto has and then try to find the top 2 to 3 best players in those categories. So, right, if you're looking at those 5 categories and you say, okay, I want to look at smart contract cryptos. Well, obviously Ethereum's number 1, and then you have the cryptos that come after that. Avalanche, Solana, I think Cosmos is part of that too. Polkadot, Cardano, all that stuff. You need to go into those. I would try to stay in the top 3 to 5 and just pick, the top 2, right? And see what happens. Again, not financial advice, but that's usually how I do it. I try to know the categories of crypto and then say, okay, within these 5 categories, who are the 3 top players? And then from there, maybe you make a little sizable investment and, see what happens. What's also important too is to know the cycle, right? So just know that the bull market for crypto ends a year after the halving. So the halving happens in April, I think April 20 something, April 22nd. Let's see. I think it's April something, April 22nd, whatever it is. So it's in April. So just know April of next year, maybe you plan, if okay, the bull market, and it might last a little bit longer now that we have, I think honestly the whole crypto space is going to change because I don't think it's going to follow the typical cycle, but just to be on the conservative side, let's say, okay, the halving starts in April and you say, okay, I'm going to hold this position maybe 3 months before that year comes up. So April to April, 3 months back, you're looking at March, February, and January. So maybe you get out of your positions January and you take profit, right, on whatever you have, just to be on the safe side. You don't want to try to hold until the end and try to top the top of the bull. You time the top of the bull market, right? So yeah, that's my take. I think we're going to see prices go up from here. We're definitely going to see some crazy stuff in the crypto market. You don't want to miss out. If you don't have a brokerage firm, I would say, sign up for Coinbase, right? And again, do your own research. I'm not saying to invest in anything. I'm saying there's an opportunity and, you may want to look at, maybe if you have some money allocated to some of these projects that you do your research on. But yeah, that's it for Market Mondays. I will come back on Wednesday, and then I'll be on Friday as well, and we'll see what this market does. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.